Good evening, rail fans. Wasn't that amazing? And yes, it really was that loud. You would not believe the racket when a train goes across those double diamonds. That was Marion, Ohio. And it is only one of many rail fan spots that I will share with you this evening. And hello, everyone. Hello, Dave Hammer. Hello, Nathan DeLay. Joe Rader, thank you for joining. Jerry Coffey is in the house. I see Sparky 107. Sparky, I will jump ahead to the conclusion. St. Louis is an amazing spot for a YouTube meet and greet. John Garvin, Wigwag Workshop. Roger Cook, how are you? Blair Niven, thanks for joining. Wigwag Workshop is in the house. Who else am I forgetting? I see Chris Ward is here. John Alaniva, lovely seeing you. And many other people. Bob Morrison, did I mention your name? Ray Bertelson. And who was the first? I think Dwight Curley, you were the very first in, so you get the cookie. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Tonight is going to be insane. I have more video in this Mini Prints Monthly Live, coming to you live the first Wednesday of every month from Miniature Printerland, than I have in all the other lives in the past over a year and a half. So I have how long this is going to go. Put your feet up. Stay with me as long as you can. If you have to go, come back and watch it on replay because there is some unbelievable footage. I'm not going to talk about mini prints much at all, if at all. What I want to share with you tonight are two things. Highlights from the recent trip to St. Louis, to the St. Louis RPM. And we have a very special guest in the basement right there. Mr. Riley Triggs of the NMRA will be joining us in about, I'd say 45 minutes to talk about the Texas show. And the Texas show, we will be chatting about that because I leave in, oh boy, 21 days, 3 weeks. Yeah, 3 weeks, 3 weeks tonight. I will be in Texas. And yes, Russ, we are about to choose beer tonight, but not any beer, because we are about to choose. And once again, I tell you that tonight, the whole theme of tonight is firsts. Tonight, we are going to choose the first time I've ever had a beer that was not from across the street. And we are going to choose a beer from Second Shift Brewing. So Second Shift is a brewery in St. Louis that James Regier, pictured here with me, took me to. And it was a perfect brewery for me. It's a microbrewery because we were drinking beer and watching trains go by. So there was mainline freight action right outside the front door. And we have quite the choice tonight. So tonight you have, let's see, let's go change the view a little bit here, if I can. There we go. Oh, come on. You can do it. There, that's better. Okay, our first beer. By the way, I've already decided which one I'm drinking. But first beer is called Silhouette. It is an imperial stout, a Russian-style imperial stout, full-bodied with notes of rich chocolate, coffee, roasted barley, and dried cherries. And the label is wicked. And as you can tell by the label, all of these beers are a healthy percentage. I think this one's 9.1%. The next one, Chocolate Chip Trip. It's an imperial chocolate stout with raspberry. That's this one. We took our ever-popular LSD. Shoot. We took our ever-popular LSD and used every version of cocoa we could find as an inoculum in this big, rich stout. This time we added raspberries. Fear not, this massive chocolate bombs, luscious layers carry all the way from aroma to finish And God help me, it's 9.5%. It's going to be an interesting night. Probably my favorite label, Technical Ecstasy. I hope you're taking notes because you're going to have to choose. This is a Czech style Pilsner. This is actually, I believe, what I had when I was there. Yeah, Mountain Goat. You know what? Me too. I'm going to be slurring my words by the end of tonight. I can tell. Okay, so the Technical Ecstasy is hard to read. I can't even read it. It's black on blue, and I'm going to need more light. It's 5.4%. So if you want to be kind to me, this one I can actually get through the podcast. And finally, this little gem. This right here with the snake on it. Are you ready? Double bourbon barrel aged stout. Liquid spiritual delight. And let's see what this one says. Aged 13 months in 4 Roses single barrel bourbon barrels, aged an additional 6 months in Eagle Rare bourbon barrels, and it is 9.6%. This little thing packs a punch. So there you go, everyone. For the first time ever, we will be drinking beers imported to Canada, courtesy of, well, thank you, James Regier, for taking me here. And what's the vote? So is it going to be Technical Ecstasy Pilsner? Is it going to be the barrel bourbon? Or is it going to be one of the ridiculous imperial or chocolate stouts? Please vote now and vote quickly because we have a lot to get through. Russ, I like the way you think. All right, Sparky's being kind to me. He says Technical Ecstasy. Wigwag says Technical Ecstasy. Mountain Goat says Silhouette. So we've got 2 Technical Ecstasy bourbon. Lauren James, welcome. All right, we got 1, 2 bourbons, 3 bourbons, 4 bourbons, 4 bourbons, 5 bourbons. Our guest tonight. All right, Riley, you win. You are our guest. I guess guest chooses. I'm a little terrified that it's 9.6%, but you know what? Thank you, Riley. This is actually the one I was secretly hoping people would choose. So don't worry, everyone. I will drink absolutely everything. Oh my God. Lauren James, it is Kentucky bourbon. I got Kentucky bourbon story too. I'll tell you in a minute. Lots and lots. Oh my goodness. Hold on. Got to go full screen for this one. Lots and lots and lots of stories tonight, but we'll get on in a minute. Are you seeing this? This is unbelievable. Are you smelling this? Look at that. Oh boy. It's like syrup. It is literally pouring like syrup. It smells exactly like bourbon. And someone better just carry me home right now because, oh boy. Oh God, Roger. It is motor oil. It really is. Oh God, that's strong. Yeah, I can't chug that. Okay, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to sip this and then chug the Pilsner. Oh my God. Yeah, you can't. 4 people would have to split this. This is like the equivalent of eating a bucket of chocolate mousse. It's really good, but you can't drink the whole thing. It's a sipping beer. Oh. Onwards. Let's get to today's presentation. And thank you. I may keel over. But hey, that'll be fun, right? Let's get to it. Thank you for helping me choose the beer. First story. So I left here on Wednesday morning, and the goal was to get to Fort Wayne, Indiana. And the first stop I made was at my very good friend, Nick Masney. Now, Nick might be a familiar name to you because Nick runs ITLA Scale Models. And Nick had been here before. Those of you who have been Mini Prints of the Month Club subscribers for a while remember that Nick and I have partnered on a couple of things, including a little speeder shed that we created and some other fun stuff. I'm not going to give too many surprises yet, but Nick and I are working on something that will debut at the NMRA National. And I'd always want to see Nick's place because Nick's a cool guy. And I've got lots of Nick stories. One of the things is Nick has an absolutely incredible layout. And I wanted to, let's see, there we go. It's playing in the background. I wanted to see this layout. And I'm not going to do any of these stories justice in the brief amount of time, but I would love to have Nick on as a Meet the Modeler because I knew he had a great layout, but I wasn't prepared for how amazing it really was. And you can see a little bit of his layout. Algoma Central is it the 1950s, Nick? I probably should have made notes. Nick is here in the chat. I put Nick's ITLA scale models up there. I will tell a little bit of a story about Nick and 1951. So there you go. Nick's layout, October 1951, October to be specific. Do we have a day or a month, Nick? Nick, I would love to have you on probably October, I'm thinking, as the Meet the Modeler. Or September, October, and we can really get into it. It is an absolute spectacular layout, but that's not the story I want to tell about Nick. The story I want to tell about Nick is you might see in the picture behind us, there's a banner, and you might see that there is a signature on there, and it says, Best Models in the World, Rod Stewart. And if any of you listen to AML, or have been following along, Nick has done some work, Best Kits in the World. Nick has done some work with and for Sir Rod Stewart. If you go to ITLA scale models, you will see pictures of Rod Stewart in the spot where I was standing. And I believe I used the washroom that Rod Stewart used when I was over at Nick's house, which was a thrill. But what was an even bigger thrill is if you look at the boxcar at the top of the screen, you'll see some fingerprints in it, in the Algoma Central boxcar. And those are Sir Rod Stewart's fingerprints. And Nick tells a very funny story about how Sir Rod Stewart's fingerprints got on that boxcar, which I will not tell, but I will definitely tease for when I have Nick on. So let's say, Nick, you're September or October, depending on scheduling, and we will talk absolutely more. But what a fantastic first stop on the trip. Nick is about an hour and a half west of me, and it was a real thrill to visit Nick in his home with his wife, Renee, and see where the magic happens and the workshop. And I can't wait for you guys to virtually meet Nick in more detail. So that was the first stop of the trip. The second stop of the trip. Well, let me talk a little bit about the trip. The trip on the way down was a ton of fun. I loved road trips. But you know the old expression, Holy Toledo? Well, I saw rail stuff all the way down. I mean, it was fantastic. As a rail fan, you want to pull the car off the road every minute. As a matter of fact, at the bottom of the screen, you'll see right in the little bottom below the map, you'll see the first time I saw a Kansas City CP lash up. So there's an old KC and a CP locomotive hooked up together. And there was some fantastic rail fanning along the way. But I hit Toledo, and holy Toledo, I have never seen a storm like this. There were actually tornado warnings. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the movie Twister, but do you remember that scene when there's rotation and the cows go flying by? There were branches flying by, and I was waiting for a cow to go by my car. It was the scariest drive I've ever done in my entire life. The rain was absolutely torrential. People were pulling over underneath overpasses, and it was quite an adventure. The photos do not do it justice. It was quite a trip down. So I now know the origin of Holy Toledo. Sparky has just informed me that people can meet Nick at OVR Trains in September, and we will mention that as well. But there is an event happening, which we will talk about. So an eventful drive down, and I get to Fort Wayne, my destination on the first night. But wait, I don't get there yet, because on the way down, I also stopped at Deschler, Ohio. And here is a picture of me. I don't know if you can see the cursor, but this is me right here, rail fanning Deschler, the diamond at Deschler. This picture was taken by Dave Hammer on the virtual rail fan cam. And hello, Scott Thornton. Thank you for joining us. I have so much footage from Deschler that I couldn't put it in. There's like more video in tonight's broadcast than I could fit. So it was an amazing rail fanning location. I saw 4 trains at Deschler. It was, Dave was saying this is actually while I was live as well. So thank you. It was really fun actually to get some pictures of me taking pictures, etc. There are a few live broadcasts that I did on Facebook and some as well that I streamed to Facebook and YouTube. I don't remember if this is one of them. But my plan is to take a lot of the footage that I couldn't share tonight because of time. And when I have a moment, edit it and put it on my YouTube channel. I filled up 3 SD cards, one in the drone, one in the GoPro, and then another one just filled on my camera. So yeah, the diamonds are nice. And if you like diamonds, stick around because there's a diamond coming up that, well, more than one diamond, let's put it that way. The rail fanning on the way down was spectacular. I didn't do any of these places justice, and I cannot wait to go back to Deschler. I'm not sure if Stormy Sky is here. I don't think I've seen Stormy Sky yet, but Stormy Sky had affixed a Stormy Sky rail production sticker to the board at Deschler, and then I stuck a mini print sticker beside, and we joked that maybe it was time to start a sticker board there. It was fantastic. But all of these places were on the way to somewhere, and it was a lot of driving. I did all told close to 3,000 kilometers, which is well over 1,500 miles. And it was 2 days of driving down, 2 days at the show, and 2 days of driving back. So it was amazing. It was amazing, but it was a lot of travel. So there will be Deschler, Ohio video when I get around to posting it. But I couldn't linger because I was going on to meet this guy. And this guy is Scott Schrader. And Scott is a Mini Prints customer and an all-around awesome guy. And in addition to being an all-around awesome guy and an NS engineer, in addition to being an all-around awesome guy and a Mini Prints customer, wow, one sip. One sip did it. Holy moly, that is strong. In addition to being an all-around awesome guy and a Mini Prints customer, he is an engineer for Norfolk Southern. So he took me around to the yard, and we poked around, and we had a lovely steak dinner. And he took me out for dinner, actually, which was lovely. And then took me on a tour of Fort Wayne rail by night. So thank you very much, Scott. He also gave me an awesome t-shirt, which I should be wearing right now. It's in my car, but he gave me an awesome NS Safety First t-shirt, which, yeah, it is, Steve. Welcome. Welcome to the slur show. Ooh, that's too strong to drink. Okay, for the very first time ever, I'm going to need to do another beer. I need to wash that one down with this one. It's good, but it's almost undrinkable. I don't know about that, Sparky. I don't know. That's motor oil in a good way. It's also the first time I've ever left the stream to pour another beer. Oh God, you know what? This is like drinking water afterwards. Okay, Chuck Pilsner time. Whew. Hello, James. Thank you for joining. So where have we been? So we've been to Nick's place. We've been through a storm. We've been to Deschler, and I spent the night in Fort Wayne and saw some really cool locomotives. What's next? Okay, I want to talk a little bit about St. Louis. I'd never been before. I did 6 states in this trip. So I did Michigan, Ohio, Indiana, Missouri. Then on the way back, I did New York State, and I'm missing one. Did I say Ohio? Anyway, Illinois. Thank you, Dave. Yeah, your state. Of course. Illinois. Thank you. There's the 6th state. Never been to Indiana before. Never been to Missouri before. And yes, dear, I'm collecting them all. This beer, dear, darling, 1 sip and I'm gone. So I switched to this beer. My wife is back from out and about. Thank you for joining, honey. St. Louis, first time there, unbelievable rail fanning destination. I vote that the next YouTube meet and greet is Meet Me in St. Louis because, and let me make the case for St. Louis. In terms of mainline freight, they have BNSF, CSX, Kansas City CP, so CPKC, CN, UP, and did I say Norfolk Southern? NS. So BNSF, CSX, NS, CN, CP, UP. So 6 main lines. Then wait, that's right. Hold on, Dave. You got it. Then in addition to all of the main lines, they have unbelievable short lines. And they even have a railroad called the Terminal Railroad Association. And the purpose of this, exactly, Lauren, short lines. The purpose of the short line. So the Terminal Railroad Association was actually created by CSX, Norfolk Southern, BNSF, CSX, all the big guys, in order to interchange rail traffic between them. And that's the tip of the iceberg. So this Terminal Railroad Association is a short line to interchange between all the class 1s. But then in addition to that, there are other short lines. I've never been to a location that had so much rail action. And I was very, very lucky. So we've got the class 1s, we've got the short lines, but then, and what was most thrilling for me, is the industrial switching. And I don't know if James is on yet, James Regier, but James took me around my first night. So James took me, what night was that? So Wednesday night was in Fort Wayne. So this would be Thursday night. So Thursday night, James and I hooked up. Thursday night or Friday night? It's a little bit of a blur right now. It's been go, go, go nonstop with very little sleep. So James picked me up at the hotel, and I was staying at the DoubleTree in Collinsville, where the RPM was. And we'll get to the RPM in a minute. And he took me to a place called Granite City. Now, Granite City has a steel mill. And check this out. Dr. Mini here with
James Regier
of James Regier Incorporated. Yeah. And we are at
Granite City, Illinois. This is Granite City Steel.
It sure is, isn't it? And boy, did we have some luck today, didn't we?
Yeah, got a 1244, and here he is coming back again.
He's coming back. Oh my, he's doing some serious switching here.
Yeah, there it is.
Oh, 1244. So I love this engine. I absolutely love this engine. This is an SW1200. And look at the conductor. It's been converted to remote control. So he's got a battery belt pack on. And he has remote control the engine. Isn't that awesome? So there we go. So he was doing remote control operations with the belt pack, you know, the little box. That engine, James and I looked it up. That SW1200 was built in 1957, and it was original to the mill. I don't know whether it was continuously operating since 1957, but one would assume that if it was built in 57 for the mill, then it was a Granite City steel mill. Now it's the what was it? The USS, United States Steel, I believe. And I didn't have the drone with me because hey, Steve, 87th PSAP, welcome. This little remote control SW1200 really made the night. It was a lot of fun. Big thank you to James. We tooled around. We had so much fun. It was really, you know, we saw amazing things. We saw BNSF had a yard there, and you know, we poked around. We saw the terminal. It was really fun to get out and do some rail fanning. Now the next night, so I guess that was Friday night, because this was now Saturday night. No, first night was Thursday night. This was Friday night, I think. It doesn't matter. Joshua Barton. Well, here, let me play the video and then I'll explain it.
Hi, I'm Josh.
I'm Mike.
Hey, Mike. Hey, Josh. Where are we?
We are down by the river, the Mississippi River. We're at the graffiti wall, and we're looking at the Union Pacific Yard going.
So, yeah, so I muted the sound so I could talk over it. So we're at the UP yard, and you can see the picture there above me. They took me to the graffiti wall. Now, the graffiti wall is amazing. I looked it up. I forget. It's like 2 miles of really tall wall that basically is used for flood mitigation from the Mississippi. So this trip was the first time I'd ever seen the Mississippi River. This wall that goes 2 miles is covered in the most amazing graffiti art. And the purpose of the wall basically is to keep the Mississippi River from over flooding the rail lines. They took me to the Budweiser. Now, I didn't know, I clearly didn't do my research. I didn't know that Budweiser was St. Louis, and my wife was very excited to see the picture of the Clydesdales. Unfortunately, I didn't see any Clydesdales, but we were poking around these rail yards, and there were just the UP yards. There were engines everywhere. There was the most amazing industrial architecture, and Joshua was not shy. As long as it was a no trespassing sign, we just drove around and I have amazing photographs of engines. Once again, more than I could ever share in the time available. Nathan, I did unfortunately not go to the museum, and I will definitely be going back to the RPM next year because I will be getting to the RPM momentarily. But the RPM was spectacular. I did 37 scans at the RPM. I didn't get out of my booth other than for half an hour to see about half of the models. And one of the things that I would really like to do is, besides go back and see the show, is go back and see a big boy, because I've seen 3 big boys, one in Cheyenne, I guess 2 in Cheyenne, one in Denver. There's a big boy in St. Louis, so that would be my 4th big boy. There's a big boy in Texas that I will see next month. That will be my 5th, and then that means there are only 3 more to go. One in Omaha, I think maybe 1 or 2 in the East. Michelle Kempema, who I should mention is recovering well, in case anyone's been following her posts. I spoke to her tonight. Has seen all 8 big boys and is going to do a certificate for anyone who sees all 8. Scranton, thank you, Lauren. So there's one in Scranton. Scranton should be easy. I should be able to hit Texas. Riley, if you're listening, yeah, he's nodding. I got to see a big boy when I'm down in Texas. Never been to Texas before. So Scranton, I can hit. Texas, for sure, it's on the list. And I'm eager to get my certificate from Michelle. So I need to go back to St. Louis. So in addition to all of the fantastic rail fanning, all of the attractions I didn't see, I also wouldn't mind going and actually seeing the RPM next year. So what's my next story for you? Oh, yeah. Someone mentioned this earlier. So I got to see some fantastic layouts. Anthony. Okay, this is very interesting. Anthony has asked me about my next slide. So let's go to it. So here's your answer, Anthony.
All right, so where are we? Oh, you're in St. Louis, Missouri at the RPM show 2023, which is held in Collinsville. But Bernard came out here to see the City Edge layout here in Bristol, Missouri.
And you are?
My name is Vic.
Hi, Vic.
I'm the creator of the City Edge.
Fantastic.
I got a lot of your product.
Well, thank
A lot of your
you.
product. And, go ahead.
We
You'll
get
be
to
in
it.
a meeting. We'll get the layout.
Oh, everyone, tell me about the layout. Oh, yeah, show me some stuff.
25 years in building, 1997.
25 years, okay. And where are we located right now?
As far as layout wise,
Okay. So it's, I guess, Toronto freelance in terms of. No. I love it. Oh my goodness.
Thunderstorm. I saw a lot of thunderstorms.
So, what era?
Era? It's a multi-era.
Okay.
From the 50s to present day. Just change the signs out, the vehicle out, whichever. It's a multi-era. It's a fun
This layout was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. It is one of the layouts that you absolutely have to see. It's a bucket list layout. I didn't know it was a bucket list layout. Vic is he's everything that you would want in a modeler. His supply room, and I will do a full video. So everything I'm showing you tonight could be a full hour video. And I have video footage that someday I will edit and put on the Facebook page, or the YouTube page. I have a video of a room that you walk into and it looks like a hobby shop. And as a matter of fact, it looks better stocked than most hobby shops I've ever been in. So Vic's workshop room is like walking into your dream hobby shop. And he has, I'd say he has not one of everything, but he's got multiples of everything. And it is a spectacular layout. I am absolutely thrilled that I had the chance to meet Vic and scan Vic. So there will be a scan of him as well. I'll talk about scans in a minute. But it is exceptional. The thing I think that makes Vic's layout so special is that it is super detailed to the point of I've never seen before. So every building has a full interior. He has, for example, a diner that has people eating in it. Of course, their tables, all the tables are set. All the tables have plates. All the plates have food. I don't think I've ever seen a layout that has that level of detail. And I guess if you've been working on the layout for 25 years, and it's not a large layout. I mean, it's a big layout, but it's not a large layout. But it is detailed to the point where I don't think it can be detailed anymore. It's detailed to the point that apparently he actually changes scenes. So he has enough figures to actually rotate, like a museum rotates exhibitions. He will like bring figures off and put figures on. It is absolutely spectacular. Split Rock, have you seen it? Have you had the opportunity to view it in person? Because it's not to be missed. It is absolutely not to be missed. I'm really, really pleased that Joshua and Mike brought me to that layout, because it really was something special. And Vic is an awesome guy. So that was amazing. So let's get on to the main event, shall we? Because there's still a lot to go. I hope you guys are enjoying it. I hope I'm not just droning on. I feel like this is like, when, back in the 70s when someone went to Europe and they brought the slides out and the carousel and it was like, and you're sitting there for like, 5 hours watching the slideshow of, their European vacation circa 1976. So this is my carousel slideshow. And I'm like, I will drink Sparky. So I hope you're enjoying it. I have lots more to show you. So let's keep going. RPM, the main attraction. I have a full video up on my site. So I will not show you much more than a few minutes of this. But basically the RPM was spectacular. There are a few things that I really like about the RPM. And I'd only ever been to, I guess, 2 RPMs before. There was a Toronto RPM that was short-lived. And Lauren, if you're still here, pop a hello in the comments, because I have an idea for you. I think Lauren James of Otter Valley, you and I should bring back the Toronto RPM, because I think we need an RPM in this neck of the woods. And I would very much like to sponsor it with you, because RPMs are fun. And what makes RPM so special and what makes this RPM great is that they show a picture of what they're modeling, and then they show what they've modeled. So here's, for example, George has done this. And, there's a picture, in this case, an illustration of what he's modeled. Toronto had an RPM, and I went 3 years in a row. And then I guess like a lot of things, people didn't want to organize it. There was Lauren James. I want to just show your comment. There was amazing talent models in the room, and you saw everything. And I'm showing you a few minutes out of a half an hour that I have up on my YouTube page. So if you'd like to see more of the models, please definitely go and check out my YouTube page. And while you're there, if you haven't already, please subscribe. But, you expect freight cars, you expect that prototypical freight car, you expect the load, like here that you see. But what I didn't expect were the dioramas. And this gentleman, there's the bourbon. There's a bourbon I'm drinking right now. This gentleman, someone I scanned, who I met, a Miniprints customer. I was thrilled to look at the table, and as you'll see in a moment, I found my first mini print, and I'm like, oh my God, there's a mini print on the table. There's a mini print Sasquatch as part of the diorama, so that was kind of fun. Yeah, bourbon. Oh God help me. This is Andre's stuff, and for my money, there he is. There's the Sasquatch that made a scene. So I met this modeler for the first time. He was a mini print scan, so there will be a mini Andre coming soon. His work was absolutely exceptional. And, everything from the dioramas to, you'll see in a moment, he modeled a full Mississippi barge. And that's what I didn't expect. I expected, the freight cars. I expected the freight car loads. I didn't expect the dioramas. And the dioramas, and the scenes, the very, very large scene. Absolutely, John. That's the one I went to, and we need to have a Toronto RPM. And if Lauren's going to go in on it with me, I want to announce right now, Mini Prints wants to host and sponsor a Toronto RPM again. It is about the size of a PB lid split rock, and stick around because I'm going to be talking about that if I ever get through this event. So here's the barge that Andre modeled. The modeling was absolutely exceptional. I don't have the time, unfortunately, to show it all to you, other than to say, go check it out on the YouTube page. There's one thing I want to show you, which I think is at the end here. That actually, okay. This blew my mind. And this is the last thing I'm going to show you at the RPM. But there's half an hour of this stuff on the YouTube channel. So I was walking around. I saw about a third of the stuff. And I come up to this guy who's modeled a B-52 bomber wing on a flat car. He has prototypical photographs. There it is. He has prototypical photographs of the B-52 bomber wing. So this is Second World War. This would be circa 1938, 1940, somewhere in there. He has prototypical photographs of the B-52 bomber wing on a flat car, and he modeled it. And it just blew me away. And I think what I really loved about this, besides the fidelity and the modeling, is the history. And RPM is not only a lesson in excellent modeling and art modeling and a feast for the eyes, it's a history lesson. So I just thought this was the most amazing thing. I haven't even shown you the space shuttle yet, but we don't have time to look at it all now. Go on to YouTube, watch it. You will be completely blown away. Okay, what's neat this week? Yes, I don't know if you've had a chance to look at it yet, but believe it or not, I was able to to guest on Ken Patterson's What's Neat This Week. I didn't expect it, actually. I went... what's this? So B-52 would be later in the series. B-29. Okay, B-29. Sorry, B-29B bomber. Thank you. Got my wrong bomber. The bomber people have corrected me. B-29. Thank you, Roger. What does Lionel say? Accuracy, not so much. Transparency, yes. Accuracy, no. I guess for an RPM, you need to be accurate. So thank you for the correction. Got to Ken Patterson's house. So this would have been Saturday night. Was invited by James Regier and Joshua and Mike Buddy. And the site is absolutely lovely. It's a beautiful, beautiful location. I was talking to Ken's father, and the house was built in the 1950s. And Ken Sr. Remembers seeing freight trains, steam engines across the Mississippi. So that's the Mississippi River. And we're high up on a bluff.
George!
Oh. All right, so there's George Bogatok of Soundtracks making the train go woo woo. He makes the coders that make the train go woo woo. Can I mute this? I don't know. Anyway, I'll talk over it. I'd always want to see Ken's layout. I went because I was invited by a bunch of guys. I had no expectations and I wasn't prepared to be on the show, but Ken very kindly gave me a little guest spot, which was lovely. And I'll move on. Because then I can talk over it. So, yeah, it was really nice of Ken. I forgot, of course, to mention miniprints.com because I was so flustered because I didn't know that I was actually going to be on it. Lauren James was significantly on it. He was a real guest. He got to sit at the big boy table. I was off on the side at the kiddie table. But it was nice to see Lauren James sitting at the big table. If you haven't seen the What's Neat This Week show, check it out. It was really neat. I've been watching that show since before I was model railroading. So it was kind of a pinch me moment. You know, it was kind of fun to sort of see the layout in person. Ken's got a really neat around the room layout and the basement is just huge. So it was kind of fun. Okay, so I'm wrapping up, believe it or not, because now the St. Louis RPM is over. I'm heading home. I've got a 2-day drive ahead of me. And I'm a little behind schedule, so I'll bring Riley on momentarily. And I'm heading towards Toronto, but I don't want to do the drive in a full, it's 12-hour plus drive. So I want to stop somewhere. So where do I stop? I stop in Marion, Ohio. And why do I choose Marion? Marion was the video footage that you saw at the very beginning on the 3-minute intro. If you came in late and you haven't seen it, go back and watch because I had the drone up and I caught quite a few trains go by here. Once again, I want to go back to Marion. Sparky 107 107. If you are not prepared to have the next YouTube meet and greet in St. Louis, if that is too far, my second choice is Marion, Ohio. Because, oh boy, is there a lot to do there. And you'll see that in a minute. But I went to Union Station here in Marion. And you see these fantastic, what'd you call it, double diamonds. Dave is telling us the arrangement. And so basically the east-west line running through the middle is CSX. The north-south line to your left, which is, I guess, if north is, we're aiming north. So that the top of the picture is north. So the line to the west is also CSX. The two lines to the east running north-south are Norfolk Southern. So you basically get NS, CSX traffic here. When I was at, and once again, this is going to be more footage that I can post eventually on the YouTube page. I bumped into 2 rail fans that shared, I got about an hour of footage of each. I will share you a tiny little bit here. I met Mark, and this is Mark.
We are in.
Oh, sorry, Doris.
And this is the Union Station. And my recollection is from when I was a child that it was a very, very busy place. And so I've been around trains, and I just like watching them. Don't know a lot about them, but I really like watching trains, and so even now I still come out and watch trains.
So that's Doris. I met Doris, and I've got about an hour of Doris recollecting her life growing up in Marion. She's from Marion. And then I also met Mark. So these are two rail fans that were at the station. And here's Mark's story.
We're at the Double Diamond. My name is Mark. I've been watching trains here since I was a little kid when it used to be Conrail, Norfolk Western, C&O, Chessie System, Penn Central, and Erie Lackawanna. All those went through here.
So I've got a lot of footage of Doris and Mark that I would like to share on YouTube. And it's really given me an idea. And what I would like to do is, and I mean, come on, like I've got time. But what I'd love to do at some point is go around and get footage of rail fans, at some of these prominent rail locations, Deschler, Marion, and do a little sort of, rail fan montage, maybe little, rail fan moments on my YouTube channel, because their stories are fascinating. Doris tells a story about going to the station as a child because they had a gumball machine. And when she was growing up, there was no candy. So her grandmother used to take her to Union Station, and the big attraction was the gumball machine there. So, I mean, they're just fantastic stories that people have shared with me. Okay, we're at the tail end here. So 2 more stories to tell you, and then I will bring Riley Triggs on. If anyone has to leave, catch it on rerun. This is my absolute favorite part of the trip. So I'm on my way out of Marion. I need to get to my next destination, which you'll see in a moment. And I pass this Marion Industrial Center. And it is massive. And it is rail served. And it is absolutely incredible. I'm like looking over my shoulder. There's the highway. And then I see sort of in between all these buildings. This thing's about 2 miles long. There's about 10,000 feet of track here. I see this track. Initially, I see this track that's kind of going into a kid's park. And I'm like, where does that go? And so then I start passing these buildings and I start to realize this is a transload center. But it's not just a transload center. It is the transload center of all transload centers. So long story short, here we go.
Hey everybody, I'm here with Lance. And what do you do, Lance?
I'm the conductor for the train here at Marion Logistics.
Excellent. So you keep Gary, right? You keep him on the straight and narrow.
I'll try to.
You tell him what to do, where to go.
Yep, if you listen, that's another story.
So I'm driving along and I see this little switcher. And I'm a sucker for switchers. As a matter of fact, I'm a sucker for SW1500s. It's my all-time favorite engine. So I go to the guardhouse, fully expecting to be turned away. And I say to the guard of the guardhouse, is it okay if I just, hi, I'm a rail fan. I'm from Canada. My name's Bernard. How you doing? Can I just go take a picture of this SW1500? It's my favorite engine. And he goes, yeah, no problem, buddy. Go take a picture of it. So I'm driving down this road. I'm driving towards this beautiful SW1500. I get to the pickup truck. And sitting in the pickup truck are 2 gentlemen. I get out. I do my spiel. I'm from Canada. I love switchers. Is it okay if I take a picture of your engine? I'm fully expecting these guys are security and they're going to tell me to get lost. And this is what happens. Whoops.
Hey everybody, I'm here with
Lance,
And what do you do, Lance?
I'm the conductor for the train here at that's another story.
So we're back. Hey, I like your engine. Can I take a picture? Next thing I know,
This is Constellation, the annual Mexican beer.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Corona Modelo. We have Poison Gas Day. We have Owens Corn. Georgia Pacific Clubber.
Yeah. I did it.
Okay, I'm 8 years old. I'm an 8-year-old boy. This is your throttle.
Okay,
This is your brake.
yeah,
And that thing right here,
yeah.
that's a dead man switch. You let off of that. If you don't have your foot on it, you're not going anywhere.
Hell yeah. I'm switching beer. One-to-one scale, everybody. One-to-one scale switching beer.
Because I want an SW1500. And we are switching beer. That's
Who-
right, ladies and gentlemen. Those cars are filled with beer.
I didn't contain myself. That's the problem. I had so much fun. This was absolutely a dream come true. I cannot believe that we were switching.
9 out of 10 engineers prefer the SW1500.
There you go. Well, thank you for doing what you do. Thanks for getting us here to where it needs to go. Hey, we try to help. All right.
All right. So that was the highlight of the trip for me. And there was one more highlight before the last highlight. And I will just very quickly mention that I had been a huge fan of Rob Bennett, who, believe it or not, goes under the name of his son, the Stephen Bennett. And I'd always wanted to see his railroad in Erie, Pennsylvania. So on the way home, I made a very brief stop.
Hey guys, where are we? This is Rob Bennett's layout.
And you are?
And I'm not Bennett, by the way.
Well, let's see. I have been such a fan of this layout. You know what I love about your layout and why I've been such a fan? My weakness is scenery.
Oh, okay.
I
Yep,
love
mine's
your
very
scenery.
Yeah.
I love your scenery.
I do. Scenery, I find, is like anything else. You can spend a lot of money on cars, on details, on structures, on locomotives, or you can spend a lot of money on scenery. Most folks don't. In all honesty, they don't.
There's so many places I recognize from the videos.
Yep. Well, you might recognize this. And the dog.
Oh my goodness. I do. All right, the first thing I see when I walk in, mini prints.
So the rest of this is silent because I've got like about an hour of footage, which I will edit. Nick, you're probably going to be October because I'm going to ask Rob if he will come on and be the modeler of the month in September or vice versa. So you guys are going to be the next two modelers of the month. This building, which you're seeing right here, is the Westinghouse Transformer Complex. And just to come full circle and conclude this, this is an ITLA scale model building. And when I started the trip off 6 days earlier at Nick's house in Dorchester, I told him I was going to go see Rob Bennett's layout. He said, oh, Rob just built a huge ITLA structure out of my structure kits. And then, of course, when I was at Rob's place, I mentioned Nick, and full circle, everybody's connected. Hakuna Matata. It's the circle of life. So both Nick and Rob will be modelers of the month in September, October, vice versa. And I've got lots of footage, all of these have been dream layouts, and I just feel so thrilled to actually see it. I know, isn't it funny, Russ? I was thinking the same thing. It's like you never see him in his actual videos. I've been watching his videos since before I was modeling. So I've been actually watching his videos for at least 10 years before I even had a layout. So more about that. It really was, Scott. We're going to do a deep dive on both Nick's layout and on Rob Bennett's layout in September and October. All right, not too bad. I'm only 15 minutes behind schedule, and the time has come for our special guest. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I would like to talk about the NMRA National Convention because I will be doing a clinic there in 3 weeks. So I guess I better start on that. And I will also be doing body scanning there. So without further ado, let me introduce and add Mr. Riley Triggs to the stream. Hi, Riley.
Hey, Bernard, how are you this evening?
Good. Sorry about that very long wait in the basement down there. I hope it was air conditioned.
It was nice and cool, just what we need in Texas.
Excellent, excellent. Happy to provide the AC for my guests. And what'd you think about that trip?
Oh my gosh! If I'd known that you were going to do all that, I would have asked to join you. That seems like an incredible trip.
It really was.
Did you do this all the time? Like, are you just like flitting around the world, just like seeing all this stuff and meeting all these wonderful people?
First time ever. And you know what? You pay a price because I've now come back to a backlog of about 100 orders and 37 scans, which I need to turn around very quickly so that I can turn around and join you in Texas. So it will take its toll.
Yep.
But you know what? The one thing I've learned about being a model railroad manufacturer is it can very quickly take the passion out of the hobby because I don't want to lose that. And if you are just sitting here, turning out little pieces of plastic for other people, I don't want to burn out. So the thing that I love most about this hobby are the people, getting out, meeting people, the friendships that I made, with James and with Joshua and with Mike Buddy. I can't wait to do that in Texas, because that's the fun part. I'm actually, as I think mentioning to you before, I'm going to slash and burn a whole bunch of scans so that I can actually free up time to actually partake. And this will be my first ever NMRA National. So what do I have to expect? And who are you anyway? Who the heck are you? Why are we talking about the NMRA National?
Who's this guy on my screen, and why isn't he drinking beer?
Riley, who?
Well, just quick introduction. I am Riley Triggs. I am from Austin, Texas. I am a model railroader. At least when I'm not doing like other model railroad stuff. I am the NMRA Publications Chair, so I publish the NMRA magazine and other and sundry things that we have going on. I'm also, for the Lone Star region of the NMRA, I'm the Publicity Chair. I've been the Publications Chair there, been on the board, done all that sort of stuff. And then locally, I'm the recent past president of our local modular club. That models Austin and surrounding Central Texas back in the 60s. So a little bit of everything. It's hard to find time to work on this guy back here, as you know. But I
model. What is back there?
Well, I model the Port of New York, and it is in 1959. And it is in the kind of beginnings of winter of 1959, and the main part of the layout is the Hoboken Shore Railroad, which was in Hoboken, New Jersey, right across from the Manhattan Island, New York City. But I also model a couple of the little pocket terminals that are around the Port of New York. So the two that I have going right now, Harlem Terminal for the Erie Railroad, and then the 27th Street terminal on Manhattan Island, which was a Lehigh Valley terminal. But I've set this up so, you know, all those pocket terminals are accessed by car floats. And what I can do is I can change out those little pocket terminals. So I can, you know, keep building. I can do, you know, a B&O terminal. I can do, you know, Penzi terminal. You know, anybody on the East Coast, you know, showed up in New York and had one of these little pocket terminals. So I've got like a lifetime project where I can model these, you know, little distinct terminals that are, you know, like 5 by 7 feet or something like that, and just like keep rotating them out forever. So, so that's a lot of fun. So but I don't get to spend a whole lot of time doing that because I'm doing this right now. You know,
Exactly.
trying to get people to the convention, and you know, get some fine folks like you coming down to Texas for the first time, and seeing all the wonderful stuff that's going on in the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
I can't wait.
Yeah, I think it's going to blow you away. You know, we've got all the regular stuff going on. You know, the big highlights are, you know, the layout tours. There's so many great layouts in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. The operating, you know, sessions. We actually have a few slots still left open. So if you've already registered, you should have gotten an email to say that you can sign up for some more. So I would encourage people to do that. What else is going on? We've got some great tours. You mentioned the big boy that's at the American Museum of Railroading right there in Frisco, which is right close by.
Okay.
We're doing a trip to the Texas State Railroad. There's historic railroad depot tours. A lot of great stuff railroading going on in Dallas right now.
I want to know if anybody who is in the chat is going to be there.
Ah,
I'm curious if I will meet any of the folks. Anyone planning on going? I'm going. I'm bringing my scanner.
so yeah, Dave says, you know, asking about the BNSF headquarters. That is one of our tours. We've actually got a couple of big tour bus loads of people who are going there. And that's not only, you know, interesting to see their huge, what do they call it? It's like operations center, network operations center or
Oh,
something
is it
like
like
that.
NORAD with screens?
Yes. Yeah,
Oh,
it's
cool.
got like a football field long full of screens that monitor their entire line all over the U.S. It's
Oh
amazing.
man.
Yeah.
I haven't even wrapped my head around. I've been so focused on the last trip. I got to think about the next trip. I think I fly in Wednesday morning, but I don't start scanning till Thursday. So maybe
You've
if
got some
there's, I
time.
got to go look at the schedule. If there's something Wednesday afternoon, maybe I will try and
Well, I think you
sign up.
better go see the big boy. I think that should be on the top of your list since you're
I
there.
think I have to, yeah, because yeah, exactly. I got to get the certificate from Michelle.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we're all in it for, right? Is certificates from Michelle.
Exactly. I mean, you know, seriously, that and tumbleweeds.
Yeah. And I don't think you'll see any tumbleweeds. That's a little bit further west in Texas,
Okay.
but yeah, there's so much to do. And it's fun that you're coming down and you're going to be doing the scanning. I know I've signed up, you know, for another slot. I've done
Okay.
it once up in Amherst.
Yep, there's a picture of you on the screen, I think, with
Yeah.
one of the fine NMRA publications in your hand.
There, exactly. Reading it right there while I'm, you know, waiting for my locomotive to get ready.
And did you, let me go full screen on you. Did you paint
Yeah.
yours? Did you?
I did. And I've got, you know, a couple of different scales here, and I don't know how well you're going to be able to see this.
Put your hand behind it, maybe, so it focuses on it. No.
Nope. But you can tell it's there.
Yeah,
And then, of
it's
course,
you.
an HO scale,
Oh,
too.
you did a great job. Nice.
So I'm planning on, you know, doing more.
Yeah.
And I've been researching. I've got a great book here on the Hoboken Shore by Benjamin Bernhardt. Did a really neat little book on a little bit of history, lots of photographs. And there's this great photograph of the cruise. So, you know, short line railroad, right? It's only like 1.9 miles long, or was.
Okay.
And it's got this shot of the entire, you know, railroad workers, employees, the managers, everything. And they're dressed in winter railroad garb. So they all have got their, you know, big boots and coats and everything. And it's like, oh my God, I need to go out, find some of this stuff and get scanned like that so that I can, model the winter scene on my railroad.
Excellent. So you're coming in costume.
If I can, get my act together between now and then, I want to, bring these clothes because, who like produces scale figures that are dressed for like winter model railroad operations.
Oh
right?
yeah, exactly.
Nobody.
And I have a new scanner. You'll see a picture in a few slides. I have a new scanner that will pick up the detail just beautifully.
Oh, excellent.
Just absolutely beautifully. So I tried the new scanner out in St. Louis. I was very pleased with it.
But that's one of the neatest things about what you're doing is that, it's not, it's cool just to begin with to like have a scan of yourself. I mean,
Sure.
Everybody I've shown is just like, that is so cool. No model railroaders. I mean, these are like just normal people, right?
Sure.
And they're like, oh my God, like, yeah, normal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, where did you get that done? How did that happen? That's so cool. But it's one of those things where, now we can get like the figures that we want and that we need, and we can do RPM figures now, right?
We're living in the future.
It's amazing. And anyway, so I'm really looking forward to that, and I'm glad to hear that you got a lot of people who are going to take advantage of your being there.
Yeah, I think I've signed up 32 already, and
Awesome.
I've booked 60 slots, but I realize that 60 will kill me. Like there's no way. So I'm gonna go in and slash and burn and knock out a whole bunch of them so I can actually like have fun and hang out with you and actually have a conversation and not be cross-eyed and go see things and do things. How do people find out about this?
Well, we're all over social media.
Okay.
2023 Texas Express is, on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. But if you go to 2023texasexpress.com,
2023texasexpress.com. Okay.
Yep. That's our homepage.
TEXASEXPRE.
Yep. And
okay, I think I just put it in no, I spelt it wrong. Oh man. Okay. Oops. I can't type. Nope. Don't want to do that. I want to delete that. Delete comment. All right. Bernard typed it wrong. Someone type it right. Oh, I can put myself in a timeout, or I can ban the user. I can ban myself and delete my comments.
For typos.
Exactly. Somebody type in 2023texasexpress.com, or better still, just go to 2023texasexpress.com. And is there deadlines and stuff? Were you telling me about something that was deadline?
Yeah. So coming up tomorrow is the deadline to make your hotel reservations to get the convention rate.
Okay.
Now, our headquarters hotel and convention center is the Gaylord Texan Resort.
Okay.
And if anybody's ever heard of Gaylord Resorts, they're just really, really nice facilities. They've got several restaurants and a water park and stuff like that. Nice rooms.
Water park. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah. 2 of them actually.
Really? So then I can do trains and water park?
Yes, and you can do a golf course. There's like a bunch of other stuff to do as well.
Sparky saved my butt. Thank you, Sparky.
There he goes. Thank you. Yeah, perfect. And it's a really nice facility, really nice hotel. We got a great rate. Basically, we got a half price rate for what they charge you if you just want to go on the weekend and hang out. But that rate ends tomorrow. So if you're going to the convention now, get your hotel reservations by tomorrow, or else they're going to double. And I highly recommend staying there. It's a nice place. The convention is there as well. So, you walk through the air conditioning. That's something else I wanted to point out. Yeah, it's hot in Texas, but model railroading is an indoor sport, and everything is heavily air conditioned in Texas. So there's no worries about that. And especially, having the convention in the hotel. And we also have the National Train Show, which is going to be on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. That is in the same complex. It's all in the same hotel. You walk air conditioned from one to the other. Everything is right there.
Is there a dome over it? Someone said there's a dome or something.
even their atrium where they have restaurants and they've actually got like a garden railway and all that sort of stuff. That is covered and air conditioned, and no worries, you're not going to have to sit outside.
Is this like the Truman Show? Are we in like a big dome?
Not quite like that, but close. Close. I think you'll forget about the outside world. Yes.
Okay, good. Well, I've never been to Texas. I cannot wait. It's really all about the people. So I am so looking forward to hanging out with you and meeting Donna Orr and seeing some trains. Because that's my big thing is I hate flying in somewhere, doing the scans, being in a hotel, flying out. And then when someone says, what'd you see? So somewhere in all this, I got to see a train because clearly that's the point of this whole thing.
And there are lots of trains in the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
Oh, yeah.
You've got UP, BNSF going through there. In fact, we've got a great tour of the Saginaw Yards, which includes a tour of a grain elevator. So we're actually going to get to go up in a working grain elevator.
Okay.
Which is just amazing. And
what
then,
day is that? I think I'm not going to be there for that day.
I don't know when that is. Have to look at the schedule.
Okay.
But the
news flash from my mother who's watching.
Yep.
We stayed at a Gaylord Hotel in Nashville. It was lovely. So it's mom approved.
Yep.
There you
Very
go.
comfortable accommodations.
Excellent. And a very expensive hotel if you do not do it tonight.
That's right. Rates will double after tomorrow.
Jeez, doubles twice as much.
Almost, yes.
Yeah, that's what. One sip of.
I was going to say, you haven't talked about it. How is it?
Honestly,
yeah,
wonderful for a sip,
but too much.
Yeah. I mean, it's like you do a shot glass, like this can. You get 10 friends together, you each do a shot glass, and you go.
Well, Eagle Rare is a really great bourbon.
Is it? Is it a known? Yeah.
Yeah. I get that whenever I go out because it's hard to find. It's rare. But it's really good.
All right. So then I shouldn't waste that, huh? I should figure out I'll put it in the fridge. Maybe I'll sip it throughout the day tomorrow. I'll day drink.
There you go.
So I will apologize in advance if anyone's models come late or a little screwed up. It's because I've been day drinking the bourbon.
Hey, it happens.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me. Really appreciate it. Looking forward to seeing you.
Yeah, I cannot wait to see you not next month. Geez, this month.
This month.
Yeah, and I guess I've got to somewhere in all this, I've got to author a figure painting clinic.
That's right.
Yeah.
We're looking forward to that.
Yeah.
And I tell you, if there is anything that you want to see or do, like, I can hook you up. Just let me know.
Big boy. Definitely.
We can make that happen.
Big boy. Steve. They noticed. There are three things that you can always guarantee on a Mini Prints Live. So we go live the first Wednesday of every month. 1, there will be beer. 2, there will be technical difficulties. And 3, there will be trains. Those are the 3 things I can guarantee. Everything else is just up to the universe.
Good stuff.
Yeah. Thank you so much for joining. Sorry about all of the stuff. I've got a few more little housekeeping things to talk about. You might be interested in this, actually.
Okay.
So stick around. Hang on. You can. If you got a second, you can co-host with me. I just want to share a few more things with people. What's new this month? So you can see there are some examples of the scans that I did in St. Louis. So you'll notice there's James Regier, Joshua Barton, Ken Patterson, and Mike Buddy. So those are all be coming soon. as well as a whole bunch. I was thrilled. Of the 37 scans I did, I'd say 90% said I could list them on the website. So there'll be all sorts of new figures coming soon, including Andre, who I mentioned earlier, the fantastic modeler who did that car float, that barge on the Mississippi, is holding a cigar and a Maker's Mark glass of bourbon. So we got some great poses. This month, I have released hubcaps in HO scale, S scale, no scale, garbage bins, the most spectacular interwoven, you know, those 1970s lounge chairs. And we're doing a fundraiser for the A Modeler's Life. So that's Kelly. And Kelly, if you listen to AML, crashed his car. There's a whole story behind that. And all the money from the sale of the Kelly figures, like the Bruce figures and the Lionel figures, go to support cancer, Lionel's Cancer Walk. So that's what's new at Mini Prints. Did you know that we do peanut butter lid challenges? I've done 4 of them so far. It's so much fun. Everybody who enters has a random chance. So I just throw, usually we get like 14, 15 entries. I throw them in a hat. Someone has a random chance to win a $50 mini print gift card. The only rule is that you build a little diorama that has to fit in a 3.5-inch peanut butter jar lid, because everyone has it. If you don't have peanut butter, Hellman's is fine. You know, just find a 3.5-inch lid. You can use a mini print. You don't have to use a mini print. It can be any scale you want. And all you need to do is send me photos by September 1st. And I will show all the photos on the Mini Prints Monthly Live. If you go to the YouTube page and see some of these other ones, you'll be blown away at the creativity. People link peanut butter lids together. They turn them on their sides. They do double-sided. Some of the best modeling I have seen. It's so much fun. So I think, you know, in all your spare time there, you should definitely get a peanut butter lid together, because, you know, because we have to model, right?
Yeah, we still have to do that.
Yeah. Am I buzzing, Wigwag? He says I'm living up to my AML nickname Buzz tonight. Does that mean there's a buzzing happening? Is anyone else hearing a buzz? Or am I just buzzed on bourbon?
I think it's the bourbon beer. Yeah.
I think it's the bourbon. What else do I have? Oh, yeah. So James Regier and I, who you saw James earlier, we will be hosting, well, James will be hosting and I will be guesting on TSG Multimedia's Talking Trains. Have you ever seen that show?
Yep.
Awesome show. So not microphone buzz, but beer buzz. Oh, Wigwag, you know me so well. All right. Well, you know, I come by it honestly, right? What do you expect when I drink 9.5% bourbon beer, for God's sakes? TSG Talking Trains. It's usually John Abaticola and Michelle Kempema. Michelle's taking a break, so John has got James Regier on as his guest host, and I will be their guest. And that's on August 16th. And I believe that tomorrow night I'm actually taping a podcast for A Modeler's Life with Lorne, who you saw earlier from Otter Valley. And he's a fantastic, check out Otter Valley Railroad. He's a fantastic retail hobby store up here in Canada. And he started a whole line of freight cars, and we'll be talking about the St. Louis meet. So I don't know whether that'll be on the public channel or the Patreon channel, but both of those are coming up. And TSG is on August 16th. And
don't forget to mention miniprints.com when you're on those.
Oh, okay? Yeah, seriously. What? No. If I get orders, I have to do them. Now I just want Railfan. I guess I shouldn't have signed a 3-year lease on this place, huh? I love getting stickers. Do you have stickers for your layout, Riley?
I do not.
You should.
That's a good idea.
Everybody does. There are stickers like everybody has stickers. So yeah, Dave, it is 2 weeks today, I guess. Everybody's getting into the sticker craze, including mini prints. And if you send me your stickers, there you go. Whoa, you're good.
I've got mine right here.
You do.
That's the only sticker I have, though.
Well, you don't have stickers from everyone else?
No.
Oh my gosh. Okay, everybody send Riley Triggs, find his address, and inundate him with stickers. Everybody, I'd say virtually everybody on this podcast tonight has stickers. And I stick them on the fascia of my layout, and I brought my module to St. Louis and just got plastered with a whole bunch of new stickers. And if you send me your sticker, I will open it on the air. I didn't have time tonight. So if anyone sent me a sticker for this month, I will open it next month. But my address is right there, and I would love to get stickers from you. And finally, I will say, if you would like to watch the rebroadcast of this, if you missed some of it, if you would like to see some of the video that I shared in greater detail, if you would like to see what's new and exciting in the world of mini prints, Facebook is usually where I post stuff, although YouTube is becoming more as well, so more prevalent. So I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. I don't know why, but I am. I think I'm at 966. So if you haven't subscribed to the YouTube page, Riley, please subscribe.
I actually did tonight.
Oh, fantastic.
967.
You're 900. You're lucky 967. I think you win a prize.
Maybe a sticker. I don't know.
Yeah, definitely. But definitely check out. I'm going to post all this footage in greater detail when I have a chance to process it. Right now, I'm going to start packing for Texas. I'm going to start choosing my clinics. I'm going to, what else am I going to do? Well, I've already got my hotel reservation, so I'm good there.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm registered. Flights are booked. Hotels registered. All I really need to do is figure out if there's something I need to sign up for and get all my work done so that 3 weeks from today, I can get out of here and come and join you.
You've got a busy summer this summer.
Yeah. Oops.
Hey, it's all good though. It's all good.
It is. But guess what? So I go live. The next live broadcast will be Wednesday, September 6th. And care to guess what I'll be talking about?
Maybe the convention. I don't know.
There will be a heck of a lot of video and stories from the NMRA. So the whole next show will be, I guess, peanut butter lids, because I'll show the peanut butter lids, and I'll talk about all the fun that we had together in Texas.
And are you even going to be home yet by that Wednesday? Like, when do you get back?
Yeah. I'm flying to Texas on the 23rd, and I'm flying back on the 27th.
Okay, so you'll have a couple.
Unless I decide to stay, in which case, maybe
there's a lot to do here.
Well, maybe I'll be sleeping underneath your layout.
I've got room, man. Come on down to Austin for a couple days.
I hear it's air conditioned.
Everything's air conditioned in Texas. Everything.
So I'm going to give Sparky the last word tonight before I sign off on what is officially the longest Mini Prints Live I've ever done. Bernard went from I can't get away from the printers to shit, I can't get back to the printers.
That should be on a sticker.
Yeah, it's a very large sticker. Thanks, everybody. Really appreciate everyone coming. Thank you, Riley, for telling us all about this. I hope that everyone who's watching tonight and who watches on the replay will join me in Texas. These shows, yes, they're an investment in money. Yes, they're an investment in time. But you know what? For my money, they're the best part of the hobby. I mean, we can all sit in our basements, but getting together, making friends, meeting people, sharing these stories, taking video, it doesn't get better than that. Night, everybody. Thanks, Riley.
Thanks so much. Take care.
All right. See you soon. Good night.